And this is Mme Therese, and I'm here with a very special guest today on Family Travel Africa. We have the pleasure of hosting Mme Therese Taminang, who has been helping us out with our Nkwen language lessons. And we have a very special story to share today. I think for those of us who love travel, when you travel, it is an educational experience. You talk about food, culture, but you cannot omit language. And so we are happy to have her on. Welcome, Mme Therese.
Thank you, Mme. I'm very happy to be with you for this discussion. I am
Yes.
so grateful that you have been following my channel, you have been following my work, and I've been involved with your family, also offering some services in Nkwen language. I'm so happy that you want us to talk on this today. Thank you.
Oh, it's our pleasure. I thought it was just so important because I had two followers, two folks who follow me on Instagram, ask me, how can we get connected to have virtual Nkwen language lessons? And of course, I shared what we've been doing with you, but then it also led me to understand that there may be a need and a lot of other people who would benefit from knowing what is out there. My journey to Nkwen was through marriage. So my father-in-law is from Nkwen, and for those who do not
Wow.
know, it is in Cameroon, where my father is also from Cameroon. But
Yeah.
it has been a journey that I have enjoyed because I can say I have been speaking Nkwen now for at least 10 years. The first 2 years I was just learning.
I know.
So this has been great. How did you come to the point of being that Nkwen language teacher that a lot of us turn to?
Thank you very much for that question, and thank you for actually the presentation you've given here about your family and this experience. I think talking about my experience with the Nkwen language, it has been, I've gone a long way with that. I've actually worked in Nkwen language for long. Back in the early 90s, I had the opportunity given me by my parish, that is the Roman Catholic parish that I am a member back home. So the priest who came there, they actually wanted to see the gospel being understood by the people, by the natives of our village, of our community, in their own language. So they wanted the old mamas and papas and even the young ones to also get the good news in their own language. So they looked for some people who already know how to speak the language to train them so that they can know how to read and write the language actually. So I was opportune to be one of them. So we were trained on that in the early 90s on how to read and write our mother tongue, that is the Nkwen language. So after that, we continued with this the development of the Nkwen language by teaching it in the schools, in the Catholic schools in Nkwen, also enabled by the priests. And we did the work they wanted us to do in church by translating the gospel readings every Sunday and read after the priest. So we did that. Actually, we were certified, or we were given certificates after the course. So we were able to do that in church. It was a wonderful experience. So during holidays, we also organized summer classes. And that is where I actually came in contact with your family at the beginning. That is your husband, Dr. Ngu Awantang, because
Yes.
they usually come for holidays, summer holidays back in the village. So when they come, they always come for the classes, the summer classes. That is my first time I met him during those classes. So whenever he comes for holiday, he brings his children for holiday. And as you know, there was one time we came 2 years back, you were in Cameroon, and he will always involve me to come to your house to give lessons to the kids. And it has always been my pleasure.
In developmental medicine, we know for a fact that there are advantages especially when we try to learn these languages at a young age.
Yes.
So they're just aspects developmentally that are explored in that young brain. You know, there are
Yes.
connections that are made that are, you know, beneficial for the rest of our lives. English was my first language. And being born in the US, English was my first language.
Yes. Yes.
Moving back to Cameroon, of course, French is the second. And I was also very much exposed to my father's language, which is a neighboring hometown to where my father-in-law is from. So that's
Okay.
Mancon.
Marco.
And so I'm
Wow.
very comfortable
We
uh,
almost speak the
in,
same thing.
in Mancon. And I remember getting married and my grandmother telling me, you know, it's okay.
Wow.
Obe Mungie Mumfunga, which
Uh-huh.
means you are now a Nkwen lady. So,
Wow.
you know, she told me, you know, I can speak to her in Nkwen and she will understand and speak back to me in Mancon, and I understood. And so
That's it.
it has been only a plus. I actually remember years back, Madame Therese, you spoke of the teachings through the church. It was at Futru Parish, if I
Yes.
remember correctly,
Food to
and
parish in Nkwen.
it was Futru in Nkwen, and I think these were the Kalasan or Kalasisan priests. I
The
don't remember
Calasansian fathers or the
exactly. Okay,
Piarist fathers
so I
of the
had the
effort.
opportunity to meet the very last one before he
Okay.
left,
Ah, who was
and
that?
yes, this would have been in I think 2008, 2007 timeframe.
Yes.
So it is a huge plus. So for those of us out in the diaspora, as you mentioned, you know, travel exposes us, but to continue, you know, us coming to Cameroon and taking those lessons and coming back would not have been enough. And my learning, Quen, quite frankly, was because I was able to have my husband's aunt, Auntie Margaret, who came and stayed with us, stayed with
Yeah.
me really, because at the time I was in the military with our first daughter, and I was living
Yes.
separately from my husband. And she came and stayed with me to help with the baby. And I told her, I said, I know we can speak English, but I want us to speak in Nkwen. And as you're
Really.
teaching this baby, that is how I want to learn.
That wow. That
And
was awesome.
it was amazing because I had to be patient as much as she had to be patient, because
Yeah.
sometimes you're ready to express yourself in a way that you're most comfortable, but if you have committed to learning the language, you have to take a step back and learn to express yourself in that language
Really.
at that time.
That is the right way to learn any new language. Speak, 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 and speak.
So I will credit her and her son Ivo as well for taking me along. And of course, the fact that I had that base in Mancon definitely helped me in Quen. Even though I've come to recognize that they're not exactly the same, and some words mean different things.
You mentioned something that I was it was really touching to me about the priests of Futru
Yes.
Parish. I want to tell you that they did a marvelous job on the development of this Nkwen language, because they were the brain behind everything. They sent us to every course that SEAL will organize for the development of the local languages. So after my training as a teacher, when I came back, they still further my education in that line of developing Nkwen language. I attended a summer course with SEAL, and we did much on Nkwen language, on the discourse analysis, and then semantics and translation. So we actually were there for some 3 months, and we had many, many hours of work on Nkwen language. So after that, they gave us the courage to go ahead. They say, this is something we are still beginning, we are starting. We should not be afraid of making mistakes. So that actually encouraged us to go ahead to write up many things. We have done several write-ups in Nkwen language on the grammatical aspects and other things like Nkwen language for kids and so on. So it actually motivated me to go ahead without being afraid of making mistakes.
One thing is for sure, a lot of these native languages are at risk. And I say that because there are just less speakers and adopters of these languages. And we know that there is benefit to maintaining and keeping these languages going. So I thank you for the work that you're doing. And I hope to be able to do more of these type of interviews or conversations where we bring more of the teachers that are doing the work like you. Cameroon is a very unique place. You know, it is often described as Africa in miniature. We have hundreds of native languages in Cameroon.
Really?
Just in that country alone, we could have so many different teachers. Of course, the bigger the groups, the more likely it is that the language keeps going. And Nkwen, you know, Mankan, these are smaller groups. If you look at, you know, big
Yes.
pictures,
Yes.
and this is why it is important to promote and to preserve.
Very important, very important. Let me not
So
cut you short. As
yes,
you said, I am involved in Nkwen language not because I am a professor in anything. You know, in modern days, when they hear the title doctor of this, professor of this, barista, and so on, people tend to give more respect to such people. But when you are not holding those titles, what you do, some people might not tend to even see the importance. But if you are convinced, like what I'm doing, I am convinced that I am doing something for the good of my tradition, for the good of my people, for the good of my culture, for the good of my community. What is really motivating me is not because I am an expert in this, and the little I know, I want to pass it on to the
well,
children.
I will say that we are one with you in that. As I said earlier, neither my husband nor myself are native Nkwen speakers, but it has been just a wonderful journey for us. It's part of that journey to be able to learn the language even as adults, and be able to share the little that we have learned with the children, of course, with
Actually,
a lot of other things. So there is hope, you know, and I want all those adults out there, you know, especially those of us in our 40s. There's a whole lot of us in our 40s who do not speak our language and would love
really,
to, even in our 30s. And I just want to say it is never too late.
really,
So if we can link up, you know, more of these speakers. If you think about it, Madame Therese, a mother does not carry a PhD, but it is called mother tongue, and the mother teaches the child. So
really,
it is not a requirement to have all the titles as much as the passion and the desire to pass on every little bit that we know.
really.
And that is where we're coming from. So I cannot thank you enough. I would love for all of our viewers, all of our subscribers, you know, leave your comments. It's very important. We will bring more of such teachers on. I will be leaving a link, and you will see just how you can get in touch with Madame Therese. And if you're not sure, say you're not there yet, you just cannot make the time to commit, check out her YouTube channel. She's got
Yes.
a YouTube channel. And
Taminang Character and YouTube channel.
there you
And
go.
also, I'm on Facebook. You have Sunday gospel readings. That's a page I have on Facebook, and I also run a page in Facebook, Therese Music, because I also like to sing. I also run a website. My website is titled Mother Tongue Education, and there you can get everything that I do for free. I
Oh,
don't put
yes,
any restrictions.
definitely. And that is
You
the
just
beauty
have to,
of YouTube and websites.
yes,
It doesn't cost you anything to visit. And I love your YouTube, Madame Therese. It has from, baby steps. So if you just want to hear a few common words,
yes,
or if you want to go into greetings are like the next level. And then if you really want to get technical, you start talking about tenses and and
yes.
and the writing of it. So I think this is great. I thank you for your dedication and the work that you've done so far. It's definitely a labor of
Thank you
love
so much.
for you, as it is for us. And I would like to encourage everyone out there. I believe in our parents' generation, there was a lot of concern that teaching your children a language that was not quote unquote useful. So your mother tongue is not the language that you would communicate with at work, or outside the home, was seen as a disadvantage. However, I would like for us to debunk that myth, because the absolute truth is that having more languages just makes you better. You have a competitive edge. And even if it is not a language that is commonly spoken, learning that language develops and makes it easier to learn more languages. And this is the message that we would like, for parents and young adults.
Yes.
Who isn't a young adult? We're all young adults.
As we say, our
Um,
language is our culture because
yes,
everything
yes.
is embedded in our language.
And it's very nice to be able to learn other languages. So I
Yes.
think I think moving forward, we will leave all the links, everything that folks need to get in touch with,
Really. It
yourself, and
takes
I
only
will
a
only
click
a
on the
click.
subscribe button
There
on
you go.
Facebook, on
And
YouTube,
and I
and
will
like,
continue to bring on other teachers like yourself for folks who are interested in other languages. But it was such a
yes.
pleasure. Um, I have enjoyed being a Nkwen speaker, even though it is my fourth language. I get to use it quite a bit at home. And I don't
Wow,
know.
congratulations. Language.
Thank you.
That's great.
Well, thank you everyone, for the time. This has been wonderful. We have been here with Madame Therese Taminang. Our subscription tells where our interest lies. So,
Really.
for everyone watching, thank you for spending your time with us. And
I'm
let us
grateful.
know what more you would like to see. Thank you, Madame Therese. And
My pleasure.
we'll say goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you. My regards to your family.
Thank
Bye.
you. You too. Bye bye.
I hope you like my video. Yes, you do. Subscribe. Share it, share it.